Hello and welcome back to the Wrestling Group. I'm your host, as always, Ryan, and today we are going to be talking about Jordynne Grace's opponent at the pay-per-view tonight, TNA Against All Odds. Now, Jordynne Grace has issued an open challenge for the TNA Knockouts Championship. So she said it herself that anyone from any promotion, and she rattled off a few in her latest promo this week on Impact, and that anyone from a number of companies could come over, like WE, NXT, GCW. Funny enough, she didn't actually mention AEW, but I suppose now that they have that working relationship between WE and TNA, AEW's not going to be mentioned on the company. So she's issued an open challenge so anyone can come out tonight. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look through the top 5 names that have appeared on online, what fans think or who fans think will turn up and challenge Jordynne Grace for that Knockouts Championship tonight at Against All Odds. And we'll look at the probability of whether or not we think that is going to happen here at the Wrestling Group. So, the first name that has been linked is Roxanne Perez. Now, obviously, Roxanne recently defended her NXT Championship successfully against Grace at the NXT Battleground pay-per-view. So maybe there is interest in Perez going for Grace's Knockouts title instead this time. Obviously, if Grace then retains the title in that match, then they could have maybe a face-off in a third match, and we could actually see both championships on the line. I think that would create a lot of buzz in the world of wrestling. I know it's something I'd definitely like to see them face again. Hopefully this time with no shenanigans. It was a decent match, but wasn't a fan of the ending. I'd definitely like to see them go at it again, this time for Grace's Knockouts Championship. Grace has turned around and said recently in an interview afterwards, saying that she would like to face Perez again on a number of occasions. And after all, Roxanne does actually hold now a pinfall victory over the champion, so it would make sense for her to be able to come in and get that shot. And like I say, if Jordynne Grace then defends successfully, they could then face in a third match for both championships, which I think would be really exciting. So I think this one's high on the list of probability. I'll probably say this is probably about a 7 out of 10 in likelihood of it being Roxanne Perez. So number 2 on the list is Tatum Paxley. During the match at Battleground, Paxley showed up and tried to leave with the Knockouts title, which ended up costing Grace the match as she lost her focus and concentration on what was happening in the ring to go and get her championship back. Maybe she shows up and actually fancies an opportunity to get her hands on it properly, rather than just trying to grab it and leave. I'm pretty sure Jordynne Grace wouldn't mind getting her hands on it again. She attacked. Well, I think she punched her to get the belt back off her at the Battleground pay-per-view. So, there's a possibility. I don't know how excited fans would be to see this one compared to Roxanne, but there seems to be something brewing there with Paxley at the Battleground pay-per-view, so it would make sense for that to maybe go somewhere. So that is an option, and again, the likelihood of this happening is probably quite high as well, to be fair. I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10 and probably say it's more likely to be Roxanne, as I think the crowd would, be more into that match. But I think with the little bit that they had at the pay-per-view, it's gained a little bit of interest maybe. So I'd say that one's about a 6 out of 10 maybe. So the third name on our list is Ash by Elegance, obviously formerly known in NXT as Dana Brooke. After Paxley tried to make off with the title, it was Ash who actually tried to stop her before both women were actually laid out by Jordynne Grace. So maybe she wants her revenge. Maybe, she's not too happy with Jordynne attacking her when she was only trying to help her, get a belt back. So that's a possibility. I don't know. Again, Ash by Elegance or Dana Brooke, whichever you want to call her, she turned up at NXT. didn't really do a lot. Fans weren't really that bothered that she was there. You know, they were trying to make out it was a big deal that she returned, but the fans just really went into it. Plus, I think with the chance of an open challenge and the fact that on more than one occasion she said that, you know, women from different brands could come over and challenge for the title, I think it'd be a bit of a kick in the teeth if someone from the company that she actually works in answered the open challenge itself. So I'm going to say this likelihood of it being Ash probably about a 3. Fan excitement for it is probably about a -3. But there you go. So Ash by Elegance is another name being looked at online. So we'll move on, and number 4, the fourth name that we've got is Natalya. So with Natty's contract pretty much being expired with WWE, it wouldn't surprise me if she did turn up in TNA. We've seen recently Naomi, which is obviously a close friend of Natalya's, have a solid year's run in TNA, obviously winning the Knockouts Championship as well, before dropping it to Jordynne Grace on the way out. Natalya could receive that same push that Naomi did in TNA, you know, and interest levels in this match actually seem to be quite high. You know, both women and fans alike seem to be interested in it, and on more than one occasion, both women have teased a match between the two of them on Twitter. So originally we expected it to be in WWE or in NXT, but, you know, Natty's contract's pretty much done with. She could well turn up in TNA and give us the match that, you know, a lot of fans do want to watch. This is the one match that I'd like to see probably the most out of the listed women here. You know, if you know anything about me, you know I'm a massive Natalya fan, and a massive Jordynne Grace fan as well. I've watched her progress over the last 2-3 years, and she's been brilliant. She's had some of the best matches, not just women's matches, she's had some of the best matches on TNA pay-per-views. So I'd say the likelihood of this one, I'd probably say is, I'm going to go this one's quite high. I'm going to say the likelihood of this one happening, I'm going to say it's an 8. I'm going to say this is the most likely to happen, mainly because they've teased it on more than one occasion online. You know, so there is that opportunity to face one-on-one, which would be quite good, especially for me. I've already bought the pay-per-view, so I can't wait to sit back and see who answers the call. And then the last name that we've seen online is probably the wildest one for me. You know, it is Becky Lynch. Like I say, it's the wildest name being thrown around online. Yes, it'd be massive for TNA, but I just can't see it happening. I can't see Becky Lynch turning down a contract to stay with WWE, saying she wants to take time out, spend time with her family, pursue acting and things like that, just for it to turn up. I mean, it would probably be a one-off match. You know, the fans would go insane. The internet would blow up. You know, we'd have a lot of talk again about this. What do they call it? It's not Forbidden Door, they call it. It's a prohibited portal or something stupid like that. I just can't see Becky turning up in TNA. Although, you know, she is a free agent, like I say. She didn't sign that new deal. And she did say in her book, in her autobiography, that originally she did want to go and wrestle in TNA. That's where she thought she was going to go before going to NXT instead. You know, so like Will Ospreay, he always wanted to wrestle in TNA, and he did so. Maybe Becky Lynch wants to wrestle that much that she maybe do one match in TNA, and it's not like she'd annoy or anger WWE, as they have that working relationship now, so they'd probably be involved anyway. But I don't know, out of these 5, I'd probably say this is the least likely. So I'm probably going to give this a 1. I'll give it a 1. I think it'd be superb. I think it'd be fantastic. Probably get the biggest pop out of all of them, but the likelihood for me is probably a 1 out of 10. I just can't see Becky Lynch turning up tonight against all odds. So there you have it. There are the 5 main names that have been thrown around online. Obviously, there's been loads more names that have been thrown around, but the ones that keep coming up the most are these 5. So, as always, let me know in the comment section who you think is going to be the one to turn up to face Jordynne Grace for the Knockouts Championship tonight at the TNA Against All Odds pay-per-view. So let me know your thoughts. I'm going to say, I think it's Natalya. I'm going to go with Natalya. That's the one I think. It's going to be, watch it end up being Ash by Elegance now. But I'm going to stick with Natalya. That's who I think's going to turn up. So let me know in the comments who it is that you think is going to show up. And don't forget to tune in tonight to watch it. You can buy the pay-per-view on Thriller TV. So as always, thank you for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for more wrestling related content coming your way soon. And don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and just drop us a little comment with your predictions. Thank you.